Cloaked Ghosts cleaning up right
GGs.
there. State just barely losing that last battle, but he had taken too much damage across the board.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 4 between Vile and ZeNEX. And it's time for Vile to go ahead and throw in Chance. I'm very excited about this game. As you guys all know, Sparta is an excellent Terran player. He just showed what he's got in the last game on Antigua, and now Peony's here. We've got our old teammate Chance coming up. He's still got our old tag, too.
He does indeed.
The older tag, not even Check 6 was the VP tag.
Yeah, he never changed it. Still rocking it. Still rocking it. Probably just doesn't want to buy a new account, to be honest. I'm surprised Vile actually hasn't bought him one yet.
Yeah, it's interesting to know.
You know, it's important to have your player representing your name and your tag. And, you know, it's a worthy investment for a team.
Right. All right, man. Well, it's Tal'Darim Altar, and I think this is a good map for a Zerg player to be on, so it's wise that, you know, Vile decided to throw up their second Juggernaut in Chance.
No doubt about it.
It's a great map for Zerg, but you know what? The spawn points here are certainly going to favor Terran a bit because we have that sweet spot that me and you always talk about. The sweet spot where the Terran can set up tanks and then shell up the natural.
You know what? I'm surprised, actually, if we go to the sweet spot real quick. I'm surprised that we actually haven't seen players try and get a few tanks stuck in the nook there and then try and wall that off with Raxes or something. Bring 4 SCVs with the push and just build Raxes to impede Zergling movement. Because a lot of times when you push to that sweet spot right there, it's right around the phase where the Zerg he's got speed, he's got speedlings, maybe +1, maybe +1 Carapace, and banelings as well. And I feel like if you were able to completely wall that off, maybe get up a bunker, a turret, have 2 or 3 tanks back there and a handful of Marines, it's going to take a lot to break that. I mean, he's going to have to sacrifice a ridiculous amount of supply. And there we have a command center first coming out of Sparta, actually walling off at the front there with the CC. So going for CC first here. We'll have to see what he follows this up with. It looks like he's getting a very early gas as well.
That's actually really interesting, adding on the gas right as the CC goes down.
I like it.
There's a lot of possibilities here, Peen User. I mean,
I like it a lot.
We could see Sparta go into very fast reactored Hellions. We could see him go into a fast starport, which would be kind of unusual. Let's see what he does.
I think he's probably going to go with reactored Hellions because that's the build we see almost exclusively on this map. Hellions just so great for map control on Tal'Darim Altar, and they're really good at just denying creep early on in the game. You can get in there. The choke at the front is pretty wide open for Zerg, so they're going to have to invest extra resources in putting a few buildings at the front. They're going to have to get an extra queen, probably a spine crawler, if not 2, to defend that territory. And also, you know, the Hellions can really just become quite a nuisance if they just sit outside your main and just camp your creep tumors and just don't allow you to spread your creep into the mid game. It's really difficult.
Really good Terran players will add on to that too. Not only will they deny the creep tumors, but you know, they'll run inside and try to harass the front door. But getting back to what you said about the tumors, sometimes we'll see Terran players friendly fire their own Hellions just to make sure those tumors go down. That's very high-level stuff. I
think the first player we saw do that was Pult Prime in GSL. And a lot of other players, including myself, have adopted that since. You just, if you get a creep tumor pretty low as it's morphing in and then it goes cloaked and burrows underground, you just run your own Hellion out in front of where you think it would be and just attack that with the remainder of your Hellions. And a lot of times you'll end up killing it. You know, if you have a pretty good idea of where it is. If you don't know where it is, don't just try and guess where the creep tumors are and snipe your own Hellions. Although, if you got really good at that, you might be able to kill a few creep tumors without actually using a scan, which just based on the distance of creep around that you see. If
gauging,
you get a good bearing on
it's got to be 7 units from the edge of the creep.
That would be insane, because then you could deny them without actually using scans.
While that gives you a good gauge on the horizontal distance of the tumor, not so much on the vertical.
Why not?
Because then you don't know, is it on the top or the bottom if there's multiple tumors.
Well, yeah, that's true. You'd have to... It would only really work on tumors that...
One at a time.
Were exposed. Like the tumors that were the furthest out.
Pre-exposed, right?
Yeah, the furthest out tumors that were spreading would really be the only way for you to tell. Like if he's spreading his creep out beyond the wall there at the natural, and there's one, you know, headed down, and you can gauge how much creep there is on both sides, both the vertical and the horizontal. I don't know. It's worth a try someday.
Complex stuff right here, man.
It's worth a try someday.
A 5-minute dialogue on how to destroy creep tumors.
Hey, man.
Well, you know what, Pain User? Chance is not going to fear the Hellions too much because, interestingly enough, he threw a Spine Crawler and he has a Roach Warren down. And this is really going to make sure he's well defended against any Hellion harass. He only has one Roach, though. So that signals to me that he's just using the Warren to make sure that he's safe to Hellions. Just one Roach.
Yeah, and he's using the Roaches defensively. There's not going to be any kind of an early game all-in or pressure here coming out of Chance. And Sparta's following this up with some additional bio. He is supply blocked quite hard here. 3 depots on the way for him. Ooh, that hurts getting stuck at 46 for that long. That's brutal. That's a full depot with the block.
27, 35, or 46. Take your pick. Always happens. And here comes
me,
those
it's always one of the two.
And here comes those tumors that we were talking about before. Now, Sparta has range on this, prevision of this, so he knows where the tumors are. He forced a cancel on one of the tumors, and that allows the original tumor, which spawned that, to regain its ability. So we might see that tumor come out again. But well done so far by Sparta, just to keep the tumors at bay. I'd like to see Chance grab a third, though, and here's the real dilemma on this map, I feel like. On Tal'Daram Altar, you have to break the rocks down to get the third, and that requires you to invest in units, so it really limits your drone production. Otherwise, you got to get the third out here, and that's very vulnerable to Hellion harass.
Here we have the Hellions coming in the front. He does get the deny on 2 creep tumors right there. Going to get that queen as well. So Sparta doing some pretty decent damage here and really not investing too much. He hasn't lost a single Hellion yet. One is in the red. Chance is trying to work down those rocks to get to his third at the moment. And Sparta just kind of sitting back content here. It looks like he's going to move in. He scans the high ground, takes out 1 tumor immediately. Is he going to get the second one? Yes, he is. 2 more creep tumors go down. And it looks like he's going to go after a few of these Zerglings now.
Yeah, a couple of the Zerglings giving chase. The Baneling here trying to get into the Hellions. But wow, you know, Sparta is doing a lot of damage to Chance right now. And Chance is unable to find a way to deal with these Hellions. He's finally making Roaches, which I felt like was so important to make in the beginning. And look, he's friendly firing and killing off some of the tumors. Actually, I think the comp stat there was what allowed him and enabled him to kill off the tumors. But he's doing a great job harassing the tumors. And here we go. Here comes Chance. He's just not able to get next to those Hellions.
No, he's really not. The Banelings don't have speed yet. They're currently on creep without, but he's picking off so many creep tumors here, just picking off additional lings. And really, these Hellions are just worth their weight in gold right now.
There could be a flank.
For Sparta, they are going to get surrounded here, but so much damage was done with those Hellions. I feel like they were absolutely worth it. They do all go down at the end, though, there, which is nice for Chance to just be able to clean them up and not have to worry about them moving on into the game. He can really start to work on that creep tumor highway now. A lot of Roaches out, actually, for Chance, and we do see 2-2 melee and carapace coming.
He could actually be going for an attack here at the front door. Now,
I think he might be all-inning.
Yeah, the great thing here is, as well, Sparta's expanding at the same time, so his forces are not tucked behind the wall, and that means if Chance hits this attack right, he could actually devastate the Terran army. This entire army right now, the entire Terran army is out at the third. I think Chance is just waiting for more units, and you're so right, Pain User. He's definitely doing some sort of an all-in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look how many lings we have in production right here. 36 additional lings coming for Chance. And, you know, Chance, one of those players that just loves to hit these off-kilt timings against Terran. He does it all the time. And it looks like he's actually going to swing around to the third before Sparta is allowed to get a fortified position there. Going to force the lift-off, and he will kill those SCVs that have been sent to Maynard. Here comes the all-in from Chance. No, he's going to bring it back for the time being.
Just going to camp that third for a little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, once he's getting his third up and running right now. So the longer he can delay Sparta at his, you know, hopefully, you know, maybe he thinks he can get an edge in that regard.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense here, excuse me, if he's doing that to drone up and maybe grab a fourth, because at some point here that Terran third will be established, and then he's going to be even on bases. But his army is massive.
He's still making units as well. I mean,
I know.
This
now
is
he's droning up.
Unreal.
Now he's droning up.
Still making units, and he hasn't even saturated his third at all. He just has this gigantic ball of units.
Oh, the supply depots are down, but he's just going to go after the army. Look at that.
Almost a full surround here for Chance.
Yeah.
And Sparta just doesn't have enough to hold this off. I mean, there is no way.
Yeah, there's no way he's holding this off here. The Roach is coming back to clean up the garbage. The SCVs are trying to run away, but the Zerglings are hot on their tail. Orbital's been forced to lift off. There's actually plenty enough Banelings here to crush through the wall. Chance is going to take this game, it looks like. He's going to ravage the front door, and now he's in the main.
Yeah, I really don't think there's anything Sparta can do here. I mean, Chance just made a ton of units.